Good afternoon, everyone. On behalf of agricultureinformation.com, I welcome Dr. Madhukant Patel, and he will speak on the topic AI for digital farming and food security. I now request the speaker to begin. Thank you.
Namaskar, good afternoon. So I hope I'm audible.
Yes, sir, you are audible. Please
Okay.
proceed.
Thank you. So we'll be talking of a subject which is like more in line with the limelight today, where agriculture is going to transform itself for a couple of reasons. The one good reason is that people want a quality food. Farmers need a consistent, good source of income, and the technology can help to farmers, to the supply chain, to the stockists, traders, consumers. So all across chain, people are talking of a sustainable food security. So food security not only for making the food available. The more important is making a quality food available is one thing, and if the security of food producers is not taken care, then the whole mission cannot really work. So, Dipali. So the one need to take care of whole eco-cycle. So whole eco-cycle means we need to take care of each and every element, each and every entity which are involved into food security. So that's where one important thing lies. Other thing, if we see the recent um, history of the Gulf War and the bottleneck of transporting oil and raw material of agriculture, raw material of fertilizer, raw material of pesticide coming from Gulf countries is now stuck. So all the situations which are now and then comes, and that involves a lot of supply chain issues. So with AI and the digital farming will assure of optimum input. Today, lot of inputs, that means the nutrients, fertilizers, the pesticides are overused. That means the wastage, not only wastage of fertilizers, but it's affects the environment, then the food quality, the soil quality, the water quality, the cattle feed. So all the things are getting affected by excess use of fertilizers. So all those things are very, very much important in today's limelight. So when we talk of a domain, a digital farming domain, so one need to go behind the science of digital farming, the farming water, the crop health, the vegetable, fruit, grain health, the testing, the data available to the farmer, to the trader, and to the consumer. So we need to talk of all the stakeholders from producer to the consumer, logistics, supply chain, stockists, traders, finances, the insurance, all lot of things, and the governance and the government, they all are stakeholders some way or the other. So when we talk of a digital farming as a domain, we need to talk all of them. And I'll touch upon something on the digital healthcare, which is very much closely associated with the food and possibly digital farming. So we know that health is very, very closely connected with the quality of food, quality of that means milk, juice, fruit, water, air, everything. And that is also adversely affecting the human health. So whatever we have developed at Reve Automation, where we'll be demonstrating and what all products we have developed in this field. So mostly I'll be sharing my experience into this domain. My previous background is I was working with ISRO for quite long years and worked with DRDO projects, a lot of corporate projects, a lot of government projects. So with that credential, we are able to develop such transforming technology like this, where we put this into the soil, click a button on the app, and we get about 24 parameter of the soil. So that involves physical parameter, it involves the chemical parameter, and it involves the biological parameter. And one of the inspiration for me was respected Honorable Sri Narendra Modi ji, with whom I worked quite a lot when he was CM Gujarat. And he encouraged me that being a scientist, being a farmer, you should do something good for the farmers. So that was one of the motive where I started working on this domain. So as I told you that a soil or a farming water or a farm produces, they have three major uh, entities into them. So one is the physical parameter or physical content, the chemical parameters, and the biological parameters. Now, once we talk of biological parameters, there's the bio is the life. So there's a life in water, life in soil, life in seeds, life in plants, life in fruits and vegetables. So this is how the bio comes into picture. And the end effect is bio in the human health and the animal health. So all those things are connected with these three parameters, which we are measuring with instrument like this, where we put it to soil, instrument like this, where we take the leaves, water, seeds, fruits, and flower. So they all are using some technology, which I'll be talking slowly. So this what is the technology we have developed, which you call soil X for the soil, like we have veg X for the vegetable, we have leaf X, health X, like this. We have series of devices. So what it contains? So fundamentally, there are three different technology which we have used. So if we see here in this, the optical technology in the middle, which we call is spectrometer. Then we have smart nano sensors, which are the sensors, and we have microwave sensors. So this measures the soil moisture and soil dielectric coefficient. So these three different techniques together generates the data, and this data goes to cloud. And we have done a lot of machine learning. We have trained the model using about 10,000 soil samples with the soil report from soil laboratories. So this is how generally we do machine learning, where we have label data. Now label data is means I get a soil sample, I know the report, and same soil I test with Reve spectrometer, Reve soil X, and then we get digital values against a lab report. We try to blend them together. So process of blending this labeled data or the soil reports with the soil X data set is called machine learning. So this machine learning we have done over 2,000 sample earlier, and then when we have more and more sample, the machine learning gets more and more trained, and then it becomes AI. And once this AI, we get the report on the click from the cloud. So it's handheld device, as I showed you, is a lightweight, battery powered, and on the spot measurement. So we go to farm, put the soil X into farm soil and click a button, we get the report in 30 to 40 seconds. So this is how the technology works. And for one click, when we do or click on the app, we get about 500 data points of different wavelength and corresponding values. So all the spectrometers on the earth or in the sky, they work on certain frequencies or wavelengths. So what Dr. C.V. Raman has proved over the years is every atom, every cell, every molecule has a different resonant frequency. So what we do is we measure the resonant frequencies of different target material. So in case of soil, the target material is soil, which contains physical, chemical, and biological parameters. So in case of leaf, so in leaf we have like chlorophyll, moisture, and nutrients and a lot of things. So those are the target elements, target matter, and those all of them they have different resonant frequencies. So this how it works. So we get about 500 data sets of different values correspond to different wavelengths, and those are sent to cloud server. It goes through AI model, which are trained through the label data, and we get the report in about 30 seconds on farmer's Android phone right on the farm. So this is how the whole cycle works when we test the soil in the farm. So as I told you, is a tri-band spectrometer which has UV, visible infrared band, and it has a wavelength from 410 nanometer to 940 nanometer at present, and will be expanding to about 1700 nanometer soon. So this how it goes as a spectrometer, as a device, as a technology. Then other element, as I told you, is a smart nano sensors, which has different nanomaterials. So the roads are made of different nanomaterials, and when we put these nanomaterials insert into soil, these materials interact with the soil compositions and produces some nanoampere current, which are measured and converted into the soil physical composition. And we have micro sensor which will measure the soil moisture, bulk density, and that will be the porosity and organic matter. So these are the three technology together are blended into Soil X, and we get a comprehensive device called Soil X or Soil Analyzer. Now we have carried out about 10,000 samples, farms we have tested globally, and a few of these case studies which I'm giving is, so one of them is a banana farm. So after taking the soil data, the farmer called us and told that the banana is not properly like setting up. They get poor quality of banana, or sometimes they don't get any banana on the plant. So we analyzed and found a much higher amount of nematode and some amount of fungus into the soil, and that becomes very handy for farmer to treat the soil so that they save the crop. So this one case study which straight helps to the farmer improvement of their crop. Like banana crop is quite valuable, quite sizable, quite costly farming. So if they save about 10% of the damage, the earning goes quite high. So this is how it works. The other next one, what we are seeing is a groundnut farm, where a young farmer, when he got the report, it was a little high fungal. He told, "Oh, my farm is quite clean, and I don't expect fungal inside." So because there is a report and you should worry about it. So he took out a plant and see that the micro roots were getting contaminated because of fungal. If we allow to grow fungal like this in 10 days, 12 days, the crop will be spoiled. So we get a much early warning, much early advisory to the farmer that you should treat the issues now so that you can save the crop. And if you see the bottom, we measured a couple of cotton plantation in Gujarat, and we found that some plants they aged much earlier, around Diwali time, where they should be very young. It should be midway of the like crop, but unfortunately they started burning, and we measured about three category of farms. The farms which are about to like get reddish, other is very green lush, and in between which is semi damaged kind of farm. What we found is there was a significant change in the fungus. So fungus in the soil is spoiling the crop, and treating fungus is not very expensive. So if somebody can treat the soil, specifically fungus in the soil, the crop can be saved with a much lesser cost and much higher yield they can achieve. So likewise, we did some case study where treated water were given to the farms. Most of the farms, like in Coimbatore region, is a lot of heavy water. Now, heavy water means the molecule in the water they are thick, they are big, and because they are big, they cannot penetrate to the root and go to the plant. So, and once water cannot go easily, the nutrient along with the water actually goes to the roots to the plant. So the device which we are seeing at the end of this pipe is called Jiva device. Now the device basically breaks down the molecule and make the thick water thin. So the viscosity of the water becomes very, very less and can easily penetrate to the roots and to the plant. So when they measured the soil quality before they gave this treated water, and they measured the soil and the crop, and some other farms around with the similar crop but not treated with the Jiva water device, they found less quality of soil and less quality of plantation. Or the it was sometimes rice, sometimes other crops, but the quality of crop were not all that good because of the water issues. So those are the things we found that the quality of either the water or the um, fungal or virus or other things around in the soil matters a lot to the crop quality. Then we tried out seed, and we've noticed that seed carries different energy level. So the seeds have lesser energy, or they're contaminated or aged out, or there were some other issues. It becomes problem. Either germination doesn't happen properly, or even germination takes place. Some 10%, 20% doesn't come up well, and that is a straight loss to the farmer. More than that, when the seeds are not all that strong, the plants come with a poor health, and poor health means they will fall sick. They will get contaminated through fungus, virus, other diseases, which will spread in the field subsequently. So if the seed quality is not good, it can affect the crop health in overall, and it will affect the yield to a large extent. So if the quality seeds are sown, then overall yield becomes much better, the health of the plant becomes much better, and the input cost in terms of fertilizer, in terms of pesticides, even water becomes quite optimized. So with the proper soil care, proper water care, proper seed will help farmer to really get a very good crop yield and optimize the input cost in terms of fertilizer, in terms of pesticide, in terms of water, in terms of other uh, costs which are incurring as a labor cost and all other things. So this the last one in the bottom is a tomato. So we are conducting a trial at National Forensic University, Gandhinagar. There, the quality of fruits and vegetable, if we test through our spectrometer, we can find out what is the chemical residual, what is the organism, what is the moisture water content inside, whether they're dried, good to eat, or it has certain contamination or spoiled. So we can very quickly judge without breaking the fruit or vegetable, we can find out the quality. So this all is making a very good eco cycle of the sustainable food chain in a digital way. We also tested this biological parameter, and we are calibrating into one of the microbiology lab here, where we check the amount of bacteria and fungus in the lab and through the soil X. So their calibration is also going well, and we can clearly see the accuracy of the soil X in the bio element of the soil. And when we call soil health is something which is directly connected with the biological parameter of the soil. So it's very significant, important to know the biological part. Unfortunately, in the all India, where there are soil testing labs made for farmers, most of them they don't measure the biological part of the soil, and because of that, uh, the soil health is hardly known to the farmer and to the agro advisors. So with this, we found that it can do wonders if we can measure the soil health in biological parameter. Then some of the other tests we conducted around through our spectrometer, which is on the health side. So we conducted several trials using the using the Reve spectrometer on the human. So if they consume a good food or juice, we can see the change in energy and enhancement in the aura of the person through capturing data with the tri-band spectrometer and passing through the machine learning model and AI, we can beautifully understand the benefit to the human body because of the food and juice and drinks, etc. We tried this on the eye. So we just keep the small spectrometer on the eye, click it, we get the data, and we know the deficiency of like vitamin A or some other mineral things or the water stresses or some other issues. So again, with the spectrometer, we can check the human health like eye, skin, even we can detect some of the cancers. And as all of us we know, the root cause of cancer to the large extent is chemical residue in the food, in the milk, in the other juice, etc. And that causes a severe cancer effect. So we can find out quickly that yes, there is some risk or some abnormal cells are growing in the body. So somebody can go to the doctors. So skin diagnosis, then we optimized some of the oils, edible oils, whether they're contaminated or they're pure or they are overaged. And some people they give the frequency therapy or some other electromagnetic therapy. We find out the effect on the body. So this more on the digital healthcare, which are connected directly with the food or intake we take in terms of quality of water, quality of food, and juices, milk, etc. So we did through some we designed certain creams using nanomaterial, which already we are designing for the sensors, and we found that some of the creams which are from the from the nanomaterial from organic matters, which can uh, suppress or make the antibodies against the skin diseases. And those are very easily we can measure the quality of skin through a Reve spectrometer. Other thing what we tried is a called dog test. So we tested couple of dog samples at National Dog Institute, Delhi. We found that instead of doing the chemical, which is long process to find out the dog effect on the sports people, through the Reve spectrometer we can measure quite easily and almost very little cost or no cost per sample test. So we tried with couple of samples there and quite many number of samples tested at Forensic Science Institute, Gujarat University, Ahmedabad. So the students are also doing research and learning about the forensic related issues on the human while they are taking drugs or they are doing some illegal things, or if there's some death because of some contamination or some reason, they can do a lot of forensic analysis using the spectrometer. So these use cases, what I'm telling you is using the Reve technology, people are using in different disciplines, and that gives quite a lot of good strength to us. So, like if we see about the technology, 100% indigenous, from sensing devices to the electronic PCBs to the firmware to the software, and a lot of protocols for from embedded to the MQTT server to the cloud server, data server, cloud processing, and coming back to the uh, farmer's mobile or the user's mobile in terms of the report. So the eco cycle, everything is developed, designed right in India, in Gujarat, in Ahmedabad. So it is highly scalable in terms of vivid sensing purposes and which strongly add value to the Atmanirbhar Bharat, what Government of India's mission is all AI and IoT technology with strong machine learning and AI model on a live server. So when we send the data, about find the data to the server for a click, they go about 17 factorial trillions of mathematical operations, and we get the result out of all this mathematical and logical processing. So capable for multi-domain of agriculture like soil, crop, leaf, seeds, vegetables, fruit, all those things. And we work for any sample, it may be solid, semi-solid, or liquid. So what all like we categorize, say in terms of crop type, uh, acreage prediction, then crop health, stress forecasting, crop yield prediction, precision farming advisory, organic traceability and certification support. People can do it. Some people in Gujarat, they are in a tribal area, they produce the millet, organic millet. Now, when they go to market, people are not able to really value their product, and that's why the farmers don't get enough money for the product. So, what we give them that you test with this Reve spectrometer, click it, you get a parameter, how much organic it is, or the moisture content, or the fungal contamination, etc., or what the organism. You get a sticker and paste it on the bag, and we can very easily people can trust because they have now the digital values on their packet, and that will give the traceability. So if we know that this is a tribal of so and so region, so and so farms, so when they scan the QR code, they'll get the report as well as the origin. And connected by this soil type, water health, soil health, crop health. All those things comes as part of digital traceability. So that helps a lot for the consumer to get the confidence and consistency on the product. So the organic traceability is one of the big thing where once we are able to trace it, the source and the circumstances um, around the crop growth, that helps a lot to the buyer. And supply chain market intelligence is something, for example, in some part of country, there's excess fertilizer stocked and which is not needed by the farmer. In some places, there is a scarcity of the fertilizer where people need it but not available. So based on the soil types, climate, soil conditions, and the purchase intensity, the people who mobilize this all fertilizers, pesticides, and other support system, they can plan their supply chain based on the data available to them. So that will be the biggest benefit in time to come. Now, this is slightly older. At present, we have taken more than 10,000 uh, farm data globally, and we have more than um, 1 crore data set at this point of time uh, from different part of country. So it includes Switzerland, Germany, some American region, African region, Russian region, uh, UK, and many states in India, and more density in Gujarat. Because we are based Gujarat, so almost every village taluka, our team goes there and collect the soil data. So this what is the population, and this is a live server. So if somebody goes and click a particular symbol, a region, we get the soil report of all the past data taken on that farm. So it's highly traceable that way. And the person who is like an advisor to the farmer can get the history of data, and based on the history, they can always give the much better advice. So what globally people do is, for example, the Sweden, Germany, this country, there's an NGO, they map the carbon of the farms. So they are preparing soil carbon map uh, by scanning a lot of farms, and then they can give money to the farmer based on the carbon consumed by the farmers and contributed to the environment. So this is the mission of this um, uh, trust in Switzerland and Germany. Then Kazakhstan, Russian region, about 3-4 countries, they test the soil, but more than soil, they first give importance to the soil water or farming water. Because in this region, they have variety of water like bore well, then well, river, dams, uh, ice water, rainwater. So the variety of water, and different water have different composition. So based on the water available in that particular season, they check the water, they check the soil, and accordingly they advise farmers to go for particular crop. So today, in whole world, the most systematic and scientific farming done in Russian region, all about 10 to 12 countries in Russian region, and they are providing quality food to the whole Europe. So they start from farming water to the soil to the crop plant, everything, and that is really a good use case of the digital farming ecosystem using AI and a lot of other tools. So some NGOs in Africa, they are doing research of their soils, and more than that, they are also testing their uh, minerals and rocks, which are like contains high value material like silver, gold, diamond, lot of things, and they are just testing how much soil X can help them to predict the cost of those particular mounds, hills, and mining regions where they are going to do the auctions. In USA, some people they are testing the soil and the plants, basically for the animal food. So they feel that the animal which they consume, the food should be quite organic and tested and confirmed, so that the animal gives the milk or other produces is much more organic and safe for the people to consume. And one company here in Surat, they have designed some regenerative biochar, and using soil X, they measure the data of the soil before biochar, after biochar, and after a couple of months, how much is the regenerative things taking place in the soil. Then some of the classical use is in Maharashtra, like grape farmers, the coffee farmers, cocoa farmers, and some sugarcane farmers. So those people, they are like a big organizations and quite large farms and big farming. So those people are testing and evaluating for their very scientific and more like a very expensive farm outcomes. So those farmers, they put money in terms of crores for a particular season. So for them, the 5% improvement is so many lakhs, tens of lakhs, or sometimes crores. So they understand the value much before compared to the small farmers. So this Bangalore, this company who are producing Diva treatment devices, so they are using for like improvement in the soil because of the treated water. So different in the Africa, I told they use for minerals and mines, rocks for their testing, and couple of more farm types are added where they use for herbal farming and natural farming. So they are the costly and value-added farmings where they want to make sure that whatever money, time, and effort they put, there should be proper data available, and based on the data, they plan their crops in the water cycle, the nutrient, the fertilizer, all those things are planned based on the overall health of the crop. So in down the line, we are going to enhance for fruit, seeds, etc., which we are testing, but it's not right now in the market. So very soon these things will come in the market, and the biotechnology institutions, they produce a lot of different sample, and they need to qualify those biosamples for maybe for chemical, drugs, pharmaceuticals, or pesticides. They also want to test the samples before they actually make the end product. So people are testing and using Reve technology for their production process. And food quality, as I told you, is organic or chemical residual, fresh, ripened naturally or ripened forcefully. All the things are coming up, which will be taking slowly into in the future product range. So in a overall context, we test the roots, quality of roots by soil. We test the leaves to find out the available nutrient from soil to the plant. And quite often we have seen that there are nutrients available in the soil, but they're not reaching to the plants. So those are certain things which cause of the hard water or cause of some other chemical stuff inside the soil, we don't allow the nutrient go to the roots to the plant. So once they know this fact that there are available nutrients in the soil not reaching to the plant, they need to uh, give some appetizer kind of thing, so that their plants can digest and suck the nutrients which are available. So they don't need more nutrients. They need some sort of a catalyst which can allow the nutrient to make available to the plant, so that the plant don't go into stresses. So I personally meet a lot of farmers, talk to them, and help them, educate them. We have quite a sizable team with a lot of good advisor, and we have seen that produce from like 75% yield people can increase with a very systematic AI-based farming. So chemical reduction is quite huge. They can reduce the chemical usage. Then biological inputs, uh, this much they get to about 2,000 rupees per acre. They get the benefit. Net gain is about 25,000 to 40,000 per acre if they use AI and different testing at different stages. It converts into net money benefits. So we are going to work on a cattle livestock. That means we would be taking health of the cattle, cow, buffalo, goat, all those things, and forensic use. We foresee garment, textile in terms of the quality of raw material and quality of the produce, how good or how best they are chemical free and some other germs or bacteria free. So all those things are coming part of it. Then in homeopathy domain, we are working with the doctors and some of these funda of homeopathy and other salt-based remedies, how effective we can mobilize for the soil and the plant health. So we are doing those research with a couple of people. So like a lot of people, they have dead soil, they want to make live soil, organic soil, and then they want to produce fruits and seeds which are organic nature. So people are working on this, and with more data with the time domain. For example, the previous monsoon, this monsoon, the next coming monsoon, and different farms in different regions, we are trying to build such map. So where we can put this the medium soil black or different soil types. Then maybe bacteria distribution across the district or across the taluka, how the bacteria are distributed. We also know the fungal, which are the more fungal prone zone. So more remedy of the fungal can be mobilized to that region. And we don't need for all the regions. So we need only those selective region where we need to mobilize these supplies. So likewise, we see the average earning per acre in a region. So all those maps will help planner, help farmer to see what they want to do, what they should do. So how is the moisture distributed over the crop cycle. So likewise, if we see whole this big district, we can have a multi-layered map where we show all the possible composition like NPK, pH, soil conductivity, soil bacteria, then termite, then nematode, then fungus, humus. So we can plot all this data into a color map so that even less literate people can understand that in the region what is the deficiency and to bridge the deficiency what they should uh, do to the farm, to the soil, to the water. So a advisor can easily advise based on such data available to them. And once you put the data into a map or pictures, anybody can understand very easily that uh, this particular composition of the soil or water is missing into this region. So they can easily plan to treat maybe a government level or a cooperative level or a private level or a into farmer level, they can optimize. So likewise, we see this soil types, the clay, the salinity, or loamy, or other soil types, how they are distributed across different farms and different villages and different talukas. And such deep maps can definitely help them. So, like Chanakya University, the Gujarat University, a lot of other universities are working together to produce quite many things for a much more advanced farming for the people. So this is what we are doing here. Um, to improve and to boost overall farming community. And with this, I thank you to all of you for listening me, and I hope
Sir,
this was
thank you.
yeah,
So thank you for your presentation. One or two question I can take up, sir.
sure, you can.
I'll wind up within 5-10 minutes. Okay. Sir, the first question is, sir, how can small and marginal farmers benefit from AI digital farming solutions?
Especially the small and marginal farmer, they have a very small land, and their yield is very important for their survival and for their betterment. So what people do that we have FPOs and lot of cooperatives in the villages and talukas. So they normally buy from us, and then they extend the services to the small farmers. So the farmer did not to buy this, because farmer, even they buy, they will not use much because they have small land and a small area of like crops, etc. So the Kisan Vikas Kendra KVK and the Sahakari cooperatives and some of these private NGOs, they go there, help them, charge little money, and they advise them for more better farming, and they can save into a lot of input cost. So it's very very crucial for small and marginal, because majority of the farms, if you see the number percentage, say 60 to 7% farmer in the country are small and marginal. So once they get the benefit and they improve their um, yield and the quality of the food, is a big boost to the even national economy, and good available good food quality to the consumer of the country, and the even exports.
Okay. Sir, what are the major challenges in implementing AI solutions at the grassroots farming level?
So one thing is like we have a variety of climates, variety of soil types, variety of crops, variety of like seasons and all those things, and even the disease pattern are also quite vivid. So without AI, it's almost impossible to really predict and give a good advisory. So when AI is there, like in our case, in our server, we have about 1 million knowledge base. That means the research papers, the books, the articles, and the case studies we put into a server. So when this data goes to the server, we know we capture the location also. We know which village, which farm, which state, what environment, what is the past history of the environment, and what is the present soil condition. So all this blend together, it helps a lot to the farmer for now and for the another week, 10 days time. So we give you a forecast of 1 week, 2 week based on the all circumstances, and that digging down information from a million record is something is impossible otherwise by any human. So our server does this, and that will be available very handy to the farmer.
Okay. Sir, how can agricultural students and young entrepreneurs prepare themselves for careers in AI-driven agriculture?
It's a very good question. I'll tell you that I've seen one big group in UP. I went once to a couple of KVK and the training centers. So what they do, they incubate the students, young students and entrepreneurs to give farm advisory to the farmers, because farmers, they have not much literacy, plus they don't have much of these other resources to really mobilize them. So what they do, they go to farmers farms, only they have enough knowledge from this their trainings, plus they have a lot of ecosystem to ask someone for the advice, and they become a small entrepreneur, and they earn also well. They have, some of them, they have their own small farms as well, so they do their own farming, and then they advise to nearby few villages, so their earning becomes good, and then appreciation of their effort in the farms also is very good. So I've seen hundreds and thousands of students. They are extending their help, their services to the farmers, and some of them they are advising to the procurement agency. Like, no, when they go to yard, the marketing yards, they go with certain small instrument, and then they can qualify. Like, the chili. what is the pungency level, what is the moisture, what is the color. So all those things will help them to have a proper pricing structure. So with that pricing advice, the farmer gets the optimum price, and the buyer also gets optimum quality of produce with the reasonable money. So all lot of infinite possibilities for young students and young entrepreneurs or young startups to do as a big service for digital farming and AI-based advisory.
Okay, thank you very much, sir. We have now completed the round of questions. On behalf of agricultureinformation.com, we would like to thank Dr. Madhukant Patel for the talk and for answering the questions. This meeting will now be closed.
So, madam, like any of your students or anybody is wanted to do some startup, you can connect them with me. We'll be more than
Okay.
happy to really assist them to go them to the farms and the villages, and it is a good future for people who can mobilize themselves into deep into farms.
Okay, definitely, sir. We will do it. Okay. Thank you very much, sir.
Thank you.
Bye bye.